looking for something. A new way, a new understanding, a connection, some comfort. You've got questions, and Light on Living puts the spotlight on all the answers so you can shine. Lift and lighten the load of life's challenges and learn simple and easy ways to live a healthy, happy life. You'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you. You're invited to hear new, see different, and feel more as Lisa shines the light on living.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Light on Living in our very and becoming famous series of musical chairs.
Hello.
There's Eric Landy, my co-host.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody. So here we go. We're rolling into December, which I just love December. It's so fun and full of all different kinds of music. But, we tend to think of Christmas carols, which we might even sneak one in this show.
We might.
But we have a very special guest, and we're going to let you know who is in the chair today. And you can announce his name, Eric.
Today, let's do a drum roll.
Drum roll.
Forgive me, Mark. I'm not good at a drum roll. We have Mark Kelso in the chair today, and we're going to be speaking to him about his career and everything else that he knows about music.
And the reason why, welcome, Mark, and we're excited that you're a drummer because we do always connect Christmas with little drummer boy, right?
Very true, very true.
Okay, I have a funny question just to start this off. When you were a little boy, did you do the drum roll all the time? Were you always drumming with your fingers on the tables and on your lap and your parents were saying, stop it?
Well, my dad was a drummer, right? So I grew up around music, and he was back in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where I was born. He was in an Irish show band, and so I was always sort of hauled off to rehearsals as a young kid. And my dad always tells me a story of me when I was about 3 or 4 years old, just jumping sort of up on the kit when he wasn't looking, and I started playing in time with the band, and my dad was like, whoa, wait a second, what's going on here? And he had the band stop, and he had them change the rhythm from like a 4/4 thing to like a jazz waltz, and he said I stopped, and I was able to pick up and tell it was different, and I started playing with the new time signature, and my dad was like, okay, this kid's going to be a drummer, and that was kind of it, sort of at a very early age, I showed an interest. For whatever reason, and that was it. It basically changed my life.
Oh, my God. Well, that was a great kick. This is better than the bio. Okay, well, I know. I figured it out. Well, yeah, let me share your bio here because I want people to know about you. But I loved how you started that off. But Mark Kelso, that's with K and a K. Mark with a K and Kelso with a K. Originally, because people have to look you up. They need to know where you are. No. Well, originally hailing from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Canadian drummer Mark Kelso has made Toronto, Canada his home for quite some time. Not only is he a skilled musician who plays drums and percussion, but he is also a singer, producer, and composer as well. As a sideman, Mark has earned 4 Juno Awards and most recently was nominated for the first time this year as a leader with his own group, the Jazz Exiles. I love that word.
That's a great
That's
one.
a word. You know it. Mark has been the head of the percussion department in the prestigious Humber College music program since 2005. Well, that's committing quite some time.
We got that one right this time, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. But never let the truth get in the way.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to be really surprised. I love that listeners get to hear this part. Well, Mark's ability to play a wide variety of musical styles has helped him become one of Canada's most sought-after drummers. An all-around player, he has worked and recorded with a wide array of artists, such as...
Here we go. Pat Metheny, Michael Brecker, Holly Cole, Michael Bublé,
Woo!
David Clayton Thomas, Canadian guy, Hilario Duran, I love that guy, by the way, Herbie Hancock, David Foster, Olivia Newton-John,
yay!
Chaka Khan, Bonnie Raitt, James
Taylor,
John Schofield. I mean, the list just goes on. And Mike Stern. I mean, it's Susan Tedeschi. That's awesome. I want to know about that.
Oh. And his own Juno Award nominated band, the Jazz Exiles. Mark runs Groovy Drums Studio. I love that, where he records drum tracks for many artists around the world. To date, he has played on over 300 recordings And in 2016, Mark released his very first instructional DVD, Musician First, Drummer Second, to great acclaim. Oh, that's such a great name. Oh, I like that. And it just goes, your thing goes on and on. You've done TVs and radio jingles and movie soundtracks. Ooh, we got to ask which ones, actually. And then the festivals, and just, I guess this forever. Do you want to mention any more of those, or?
Sure.
Did you want to? And oh, wait, we have to do this one. Mark endorses and is featured, a featured clinician for Yamaha Drums. I'm going to say all this wrong. Is it Paiste Cymbals? Yes. Nope.
Paiste.
I'm going to say it wrong.
Paiste.
I knew I was going to say something wrong. Evans drum heads and Headhunters, drumstick and Plunge audio in-ear monitors. Those are very important. I have to jump to this question. Can you imagine even being a drummer without your inner ear? Like, that protects you and helps you, right? The in-ear monitor.
Absolutely. They're great. Great piece of technology.
Awesome. Are they wireless? Do you use wireless?
No, I'm usually hardwired. I'm not moving around, so I don't need them to be wireless.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Okay, cool. Do you have your own little mixer?
Yeah.
Do you run your mics through that, and then you wire them or something? Is that how you do that?
Yeah, it's super easy, yeah.
Cool, all right. Well, some of the people, it's good that people know what's going on with that. It's cool.
So you ask your first question, Eric. Eric's got his little list.
Okay, well, let's, I just wanted to know stuff like, where you teach, obviously. Do you teach at a Groovy Drums? Do you teach at Humber? How's that work?
Yeah, I'm full-time at Humber College, so I'm there 4 times a week throughout the school year from September to June. And then in the summertime, I'll usually do some private instructions at my home, at my studio, because I just don't have time during the school year because I'm working so much. I have 2 small kids, family, and
right.
I'm artistic director over at the Jazz Room as well out in Waterloo, so I'm doing that, booking bands, and then so I don't have too much time during the school year to do private lessons. So I keep that more or less into the summertime,
Okay. Now, did you go through the Humber program then? Just forgive me for being dumb.
1981, 82, 83. Yes, I was a young man there, and it was great then, and it's like 100 times better now.
Wow. Now, how did you get to be the head of the percussion department?
Well, what happened in 2005, I was there teaching part-time, and my predecessor, Roger Flock, who had sort of run the program since its inception back in, I think, 1972, wow. He'd been there, about 34 years. He just up and decided, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to retire. I've had enough. And he talked to me and said, you should apply for this position. And I was like, wow, I don't think so. It's a lot of stress, a lot of work. I'm happy just sort of coming in and out, and then Denny Christensen, the head of the whole music program, came and talked to me and suggested that I wasn't taking it serious enough and that I should really sort of wise up and go and talk to my wife, because I was touring a lot with Gino Vanelli at the time, and we were just about to have our first kid. And I knew I didn't want to be on the road. And he said, you can do this and be in town. You live 10 minutes from the school. Benefits for kids, teaching. It's a great job. Are you nuts? And so Jenny kind of talked me into it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And I talked to my wife, and she said, this is a great opportunity. I was just kind of, just meandering through life and not really thinking about future. I was just thinking about gigs. I wasn't thinking about teaching.
You were marching to the beat of your own drum.
I certainly was. Absolutely. And then, so I did it. And I did the job interview, wore a suit and got a briefcase, looked how to do a job interview. All these things that I hadn't really done before. I've taught drums for years and years, but the whole sort of interview process, I hadn't done that, Did
you have to go to teacher's college? Did you do the teacher's college or just go?
No, because in music, they're looking for people who have experience. And so I got in under this thing called a grandfather clause, where my 25 years of prior experience was the equivalent of a, degree because of all my knowledge. And basically, when I saw the job application, I was like, wow, it's almost like they just took my resume and put it in there, because everything on here is kind of what I do. All the different styles, musically speaking. So I keep saying audition, But I did the interview.
Yeah.
I did the interview, and then I didn't hear anything. And I on the Friday before the Monday of the school year, I got the call going, "Oh, Mark, we're offering you a job." I'm like, "Oh my God!" It's
4 days.
It starts on Monday. I had a weekend to prepare, so I went in kind of just like almost got blindsided. It was an absolute chaos. My first year. I just kind of blitzed through it, and I remember in the second semester because my son was born, so now I'm doing this new job, and now I'm not sleeping because we have a newborn baby. I'm completely falling apart, and the only thing that saved me was there was an Ontario college-wide strike for 3.5 weeks, where I was able to get some sleep and kind of get back on track to finish the first year. But it was definitely a blitz, one that I was completely unprepared for. I mean, I'm now it's like normal. I know what to expect. I welcome the avalanche every year, but the first year is it's the not knowing of what's coming next that really kept me on my toes. So it was wild.
So you're on the road.
Transition.
You're on the road now. Is basically in the studio. So do you do live performances anymore, or is it mostly?
Absolutely. Yeah. I go straight. The people who aren't in the music department in our faculty and administration, they look at musicians and go, "So you teach here all day and then you go work all night?"
Oh my God.
Like 7 days a week, and we're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You guys are nuts." I say, "No, we love what we do. We love what we do, and we would never stop. We would never quit playing music ever."
Right.
And they, and we're constantly trying to improve. Just like you look at people who are doing maybe jobs they don't like, and they may be flat. They sort of stay stationary for 20 odd years. But musicians are constantly striving to become better at what they do. There's always a process of refining what you already know to still try and make it better. I mean, I'm 55. I've been playing 43 years, and I still practice because I feel like I want to get better. And, there are people I know who are even older than me who have been doing it longer going, "Yeah, I'm still working on this. It's almost there."
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And I think that's part of what keeps us all young mentally,
I think so. Yeah, I agree. And now you play
what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I play lots of festivals. I'm out. I leave on Friday. I fly the last day of school. I fly out to Winnipeg to pick up and do the second half of Natalie McMaster and Danelle Leahy's Christmas tour. Yeah. So I meet them in Winnipeg, and so right now there's a drummer subbing for me, Ben Whitman, very fine drummer from New York. He lives here. He's doing the first half of the tour, and then I pick up the last half of the tour, and I'm home on the 23rd, and then we have a Christmas break, and then back at school in January. So
no, where are you touring out there then?
Well, we're doing Winnipeg, and then like all the West Coast dates are done, and then I'm coming back east to do all the Ontario dates: Sault Ste. Marie, Peterborough. We're doing Kitchener, St. Catharines, a whole bunch of places like that.
Right on.
We need to know those tour dates, yes, because we've got listeners all around. Well, I love the Calgary thing too, but oh my goodness,
yeah.
We have commercials. I'm so sorry.
We'll be back shortly.
Go do it.
Oh God.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Humanity Healing International is a small nonprofit with a big dream. Since 2007, HHI has been working tirelessly to bring help to communities with little or no hope. Our projects are not broad mandates, nor are they overnight solutions, but they bring the reassurance that no one is alone and that someone cares. To learn more, please visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me the Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Om Times Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Enjoy passive income benefits while creating a cottage experience for others. From a relaxing getaway to connecting with nature, sitting around flickering campfire light, dipping in cool, refreshing waters, strengthening your body with biking, hiking, boating, and swimming. And you have the cottage that could be a part of all of those memories while earning you money. Financial abundance as a thank you for renting your cottage. Become a cottage rental owner today, safely and supported. rentcottage.com.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hello and welcome back. You are listening to Light on Living, but you are listening to the very snazzy series of musical chairs. And our co-host right now, hey, Eric, we're back.
Hello.
And we've got Mark Kelso here. Now, because we're losing Mark halfway through our show, because he's a very busy guy, he's always on the go here, we're so excited to play one of his songs from the Jazz Exiles, but we're going to see if we can use up our time with him first and then play the song while he makes his exit. The exile exit.
More like an exile escaping. There you go.
Yeah. So, Eric, you wanted to ask about that?
Well, the album's called Elementals. It was done in 2017, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. And where did you record that? You don't mind
I
asking?
recorded it in my home studio.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow, produced by you.
Yep.
All right, great. I didn't know that. This is great. The song's called Slank, what we're going to play.
Oh, yeah.
SLANK. The origin. Did you write that?
Yeah, I wrote all the material.
Okay. What was the origin, sort of behind that?
of the tune or the song?
The song, the inspiration for that song. Would you?
I don't know if there's any inspiration other than I just sit down at my keyboard here in my studio and I start workshopping ideas. I either sing stuff. Sometimes I'm singing in the car, or I'm singing and I get an idea if I'm on the kit and I just get my phone out and I sing it into the phone. And then when I get home, I run to the keyboard and try and figure out what it was I was singing, throw some chords together, or I get a groove, and I just start. I usually, either I sing melodies or I hear bass lines, or someone shows me a chord progression and I go, oh, I'm going to go work with that. That's something new.
Right.
And so so it's all bits and pieces. And I come into the studio and I start mocking up a demo track with some MIDI instruments, and then I play drums on it. And then I record that demo, and then I listen to it in my car over and over again. And then that's when the melodic ideas come to me. I'm singing ideas over whatever I've got, and then I make changes. Like I'm working on a tune right now. I'm doing a recording coming up because I have a jazz trio as well, aside from the quintet, the jazz fusion thing. This is a little bit more traditional jazz, so I'm working on material for that right now. And same thing. I had the tune. I'm listening to it in the car, going, this melody's not really working for me. It's not catchy enough. So I started singing over it, and then I got a new melody. I came home, recorded it last night, put it in, listened to it this morning. Much better. I like that much better.
And then I assume you throw it over to the band members. Your band members are pretty impressive, I must say. I looked it up.
My musicians are awesome. Luis Dennis, Elmer guitar, Jeremy Ledbetter and Rich Brown are all very high quality musicians here in Toronto. And those guys take what I give them and they make it like 100 times better. I was just wow, did I write this? Because it's amazing. So when I hear Slank, I go, it's even better than I could have thought it would be because, you know, all the musicians put their unique personal touch on how they would play a various line. Like, write the melodies or you know, and chord changes and stuff. But sometimes they'll do some reharmonization or they suggest things or just the way they play it is like way better than a quantized MIDI track. You just go, oh man, it's like Rich kills all my bass lines. And sometimes there'll be sections where I just go, Rich Brown it. Here's the chord changes. Do your thing, man. You know.
Exactly.
So
Well,
it's a lot of fun. The really cool thing is having particular personalities to write for them specifically because you know really that they don't have any limitations. So I can write whatever I want, and I just know that they're going to take it and make it sound amazing. They're spectacular players.
And that's what I mean. I've done a little bit of work with you, and I've learned. I'll let you do your thing because you know what, it really does come across like that. You're exactly right. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I love that a lot of musicians just easily and like almost like they want to drop their ego just to hear what another musician can bring forth because they know it's going to make it better. I love how it's so opposite of the corporate world, and it just really allows imagination and gifting, and it just creates something. So like you don't care if somebody's changed your part, you're not attached to it.
And when you get minds in the same room that just seem to gel together, you know, make something bigger, something better.
Well, it's all about creativity, and it's all about the common goal. What makes the song sound the best? Yeah. And, you know, I don't play bass. I'm an imaginary bass player in my head and on my keyboard. But then when I give it to Rich Brown, like what he comes up with is infinitesimally way better than the way I mocked it up. I mean, he might be playing my notes, but just the groove he puts on, it's like, wow. And then the flourishes and the personality, the individual ideas, you know, where they kind of semi-improvise throughout the song, and they play all this great stuff. I don't play the instruments, so I defer to people who have been playing their instruments for a long, long period of time and let them go, you play this instrument way better than I can, so you've got way better ideas. So I'm going to, you know, capitalize on that and let that become, you know, a part of the way the song is recorded. Most people in the jazz community, that's how they function. They don't overproduce. You hire specific people because you want them to bring what they do, because you like what they do. It wouldn't make sense to hire someone who's playing you love, come into the studio and then go, I'm going to tell you every single note to play.
Exactly.
That's handcuffing a creative person, and you definitely don't want to do that. You want to let them, you know, soar. A good producer hires the right musicians and just lets them play music.
Exactly. Now, sorry, you have a question?
Oh, no, I can't remember if I can.
Oh, I was going to ask, do you have some gig dates coming up we can let people know with the Jazz Exiles right now? Or you sort of, because you're
I've got nothing with the Jazz Exiles. No, nothing right now. I mean, if you go to my website, groovydrums.com, I've got a whole list of my upcoming gigs for the rest of the year. Most of it's with Natalie and Danelle, as I mentioned. And the cities and that. But there's some cool stuff as well. I'm playing the Rex next Monday with Bobby Rice's Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz Big Band, which is kind of fun. And
what
then
time is that?
That's at 9:30 on next Monday.
Okay, good.
And that's really fun.
I'm coming to that.
Well, because Eladio Duran's playing keyboards, so you'll really dig it. And it's an all-star big band.
I'm gonna have a lesson.
Yeah. Oh no, you'll love it. He gets featured quite a bit in the band, you know. And I've got something on the 14th with Carol Welsman. She's coming up from Los Angeles for a concert. I forget where that is, but it's on my website. You know, so you know, and then Gary Morgan's big band. Morgan's big band on the 30th at Lula Lounge. That's kind of that's an Afro-Brazilian big band. Gary's a Canadian expat who lives in New York. He comes up and we play all these wild Brazilian big band tunes. And then New Year's Eve, I think I've put together like a funk ensemble, funk soul thing for New Year's Eve out at the Jazz Room in Waterloo.
Oh my gosh, I want to go to every single one. Well, before we do lose you, I want to be able to ask you, so because you teach this, so say there's some kid, and they just know they want to play the drums. But their mind tells them you can't do it, or I can't grasp what's going on here. But they feel it. Like, what is it that you do to kind of recognize in a kid, or like that's just up and coming, that you know, and you can help them? Do you have any advice that you can give them, or what mindset to get in, or attitude to get in to do this?
Well, yeah, I mean, many issues can be sort of pared down to either a mechanical, technical, physical problem, and that's just getting proper technique. I mean, like any great athlete, because it's a physical thing what we do, you have to play with proper technique. And many students who are self-taught, they usually come in with many problems because they have to undo what they've been doing and change it to the proper way to do things that will facilitate speed, not getting injured, relaxation. There's all these things. And then there's the mental thing, the mental issue, because, again, like sports, you have to be incredibly focused. You have to be incredibly positive and have a real sense of belief that you can do it. Oh. And many young students are fraught with insecurity, either self-inflicted or other people telling them negative things, because, you know, it's a very delicate thing to be an artist, because you're basically sort of putting yourself out there going, this is what I do. And then someone, based on whether they're having a bad or good day, can come up and just go, well, you suck.
Yeah.
You know, without sort of callously, without any sort of thought of what you just did to that person. You know, I had that experience with a very, very famous Canadian drummer who just kind of treated me really, really badly one time. And you know, it could have been devastating, but instead it sort of motivated me to be a nicer person, to go, wow, if I'm ever in a position like that, I will never do what this person just did to me. You know,
right.
and then I've met tons of really beautiful people in the music industry. So you kind of just stay away from the ones who've got the egos and the attitudes. But to go back to your question, you've got to, the mental thing is a little bit tougher to work out. So I could talk to them a lot, talk to them about various things, meditation, slowing down what they're doing, and sort of get rid of negative reinforcement, those kind of things that, and I know, Lisa, you do a life coach thing. It's all about sort of a real belief in yourself, but also taking the time to sort of get rid of things that are not working, that old definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again without any changes. You just have to sort of, believe in yourself and sort of and push yourself forward, but also combine it with a lot of hard work. There are no shortcuts. Anyone who's looking for a shortcut, forget it. That's just not going to happen. Or if it does happen, you get lucky, because luck is a big part of it as well, then you're going to sustain something really short-lived. If you want to do it for the rest of your life, you got to put the work in. There is no shortage of awesome musicians out there working their butts off to become better, and they've been doing it for a number of years.
I love that you said about and I just want to piggyback on the hard work, is that what you said earlier. Yes, guys, if you want to do this, believe in yourself and do the hard work, but guess what? It's not hard work, because you just do it because it's inspired action.
You love it.
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
So we know we have to say goodbye to you, but we're going to let you or somebody introduce the song before you go. So, Eric, the name
we'll let Mark introduce.
Okay, yeah, Mark, introduce.
We want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Really
my pleasure. Guys, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. And I can still make my teaching in half an hour. I don't even know, is this a Natalie tune? Or
no, we're going to do the slang.
We're going to
do the elementals first.
All right. Well, everyone out there in Radioland, you are going to hear a cut off my my band, the Jazz Exiles recording, number 2, called Elementals, and the track itself is called Slank, and this is kind of funky, and it features Jeremy Ledbetter on keyboards, and it features Luis Dennis on saxophone, and it might even have Rich Brown on bass, and then I wind it out, Mark Kelso on some drums for the ending. So I hope you enjoy it.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We're going to enjoy it, and thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, Mark.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, everybody, please enjoy. my gosh, you were dancing and boogieing away.
You were just dancing around there, weren't you, Lisa? Okay, I was a little bit too, folks.
All right.
Once again, it's Mark Kelso and the Jazz Exiles on their album Elementals, and they were playing a song called Slank right there. What did you think of that, Lisa?
I think it's a fun title.
It's a very fun title,
Slank. I think of a slinky, like slinky slanky. No, actually, you know what? I love jazz. Remember when I used to hate jazz and I used to say, "Oh my gosh, it sounds like a cat jumped on a piano, is hitting all the wrong notes."
You remember that, yeah.
And now I just love the creativity of it all, and what a great guy he was. I just I like his attitude, and I like how he comes up.
Absolutely great attitude, this guy. And also check him out if you check out Groovy Drums, DrumsStudio.com, and I think you can buy the albums there actually, as well as I went and purchased an album because I use it off of iTunes, and of course you can stream it as well. So
yeah,
either of those things to get the stuff. But just great music. I just love that. And hey, there's nice drum solo at the end, Mark.
I know, it really gets you going.
Fabulous.
Now, we are not done with the fun and the music. I know we have to go to commercial break, but when we're back, we still have some Christmas spirit for you.
And Mark's playing on that.
Yay! Okay, we'll be right back.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Times Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Hi, this is recording artist and composer Yuval Ran, inviting you to a voyage through the chakras, a new double album of guided meditations to transform your life, a sublime musical medicine for nourishing inner peace and reaching to your higher virtues. Get it now at metamindfulnessmusic.com, METTA mindfulnessmusic.com.
So I'm a cat. And I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
We're back, and we had some awesome people in the chair. Mark
Kelso?
Yeah, Mark Kelso was in the chair on musical chairs. You are listening to Light on Living, but I just love this show, and it's only once a month, but you know what? It's just so much fun now. I want to use it.
We want to get more possible. We'll see what happens. And just that was a cat commercial, and let's say he was a good jazz cat.
Yeah, he's a cat's pajamas. Love saying that. All right. Well, I'm so happy that we still have some time. You know what? Mark brought up some amazing points about belief in yourself, and I want to touch on that. But I want to get us into the Christmas spirit. And so I have a fun little story. Well, it's not fun. It's a fun little story for me about why we are definitely playing the next song. And it's because every Christmas for me is not complete until I hear Christmas carols in jazz, like jazz Christmas carols. I don't know what it is about. Like, what is that, Eric? What about Christmas carols lends itself to be played in the jazz?
I don't know about the jazz thing. I'd be more of the Christmas carols, the meaning of the words and things. I mean, it's nice that they do it in jazz because people who like jazz will like the Christmas carol. But you know what? A lot of people, I got to be honest, people who wrote Christmas carols like Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire, stuff like that. I mean, they got a lot of chords. I mean, if you're a musician that's trying to figure them out, there's a lot of chords in a lot of those songs. So they're not just simple like We Wish You a Merry Christmas or Jingle Bells or Rudolph.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of different chord structures, which is pretty cool. So maybe being with that.
Maybe that is. Maybe they're all written in jazz era.
A lot of them were 30s and the 40s, right?
See, I just knew that intuitively.
See? But with that, with having so many chords, a lot of times you can use what they call substitutions, which are different chords you can use for the chords that are already there, which they do a lot in jazz. So
this is why we have you as the host. The host. Okay, well, because I'm laughing when you introduced me.
Right. So,
all right, we've got a fun Christmas song, and it's with Mark.
Yes, but it is not jazz, Lisa.
Okay, yes.
This is not jazz. No. This song, should we say the title, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
What we're going to have here is Mark Kelso playing on with two artists from Canada, Natalie McMaster and Donnell Leahy, both violin players. Fiddle, I don't know if you say fiddle. I think that's more country, so more violinists. And this is Celtic. I would say this is more Celtic. And there's a bagpipe in there too, so that would make it very Celtic. But this is their version of Little Drummer Boy, done by Natalie McMaster and Donnell Leahy.
Everybody better dance to this one. Okay. That was so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Oh my gosh, it got so funky and this is crazy pants there. I love that. Christmas crazy pants.
Absolutely. Mark's pretty good on the drums there, eh?
Yeah, we didn't get asked in that question. Oh, darn it. That's okay. We'll have to. Okay, let's ask the question on air, and then we'll get it answered on Facebook about that sound at the end.
Oh, I was just going to say, there's the sound at the very end of it. I think it's the piano. I think they're muting the strings. I just wanted to know what that is. It's pretty cool at the end of that song. So, and the piano player, I want to know who that is because they're really good.
Being a piano player yourself.
Absolutely, yeah, phenomenal. But a really great arrangement and great job, girls.
Woo! Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I wanted to say. It's fun, but you know what? You can tell that is discipline, training, practice. It's fun, but it's like it's just effortless but so much work in there. I like what he was saying.
And flowing, just flowing. Celtic, I love it.
Yeah.
And the skirl of the bagpipe in there.
Oh,
it's nice.
So unique sounds. Well, that's the main thing. So, with every time we do our show, I love like what we were talking about before the show, Eric, about the mindset of the musician. Oh, that's a good name. And you know what? How many times do we walk into our passion, our whether it's our career, our job, or if it's musicianship? Is that the word?
This show.
This
morning, I was a little nervous.
It was, and the fun thing is that it is a mood, like a mindset, because if you let the stresses of the day, or you let somebody else who's said something, what Mark was saying, somebody says, "Oh, you suck," and it really can throw you off. Yeah,
it's very painful, very, very painful in a lot of different ways.
And that blocks creativity.
It does block creativity. It makes you question: are you doing the right thing? It's the whole neighbor over the fence. You can't do that. My friend did that, and guess what? They failed. Why are you going to make it? So it's just a thing about just letting it flow, and especially as artists, because we are delicate kind of people sometimes. Artists, authors, yeah, we are, a little fragile sometimes, but you got to get a bit of a skin and just keep moving forward.
And I'm using that word as an example right now to highlight, words really matter. And that's what, when we're songwriting as well, those words matter. They to evoke an emotion. Somebody could say, musicians are really sensitive. And that doesn't sound so nice. But when you say, musicians are delicate, like, I think that feels nicer. It's like, it's prettier, it's softer, and it's not so judgmental. No, wait, Eric's not. Oh, wait, different.
Delicate. I don't know. I've never been called delicate. But yeah, you're right. Just the situation is a delicate situation, for sure. Tread lightly.
Yes, tread lightly. And I love that he said, we're all, whenever you're teaming, you're getting all the different musicians, it's for the song. I want to say that, for the love of the song, because the common goal, that's what he said.
Well, that's the thing. It is a common goal, especially in a recording situation like that, to work with people, get along. It's all about the hang.
Yeah, talk about that. That's a big thing for you.
There's an old story about, I can't remember the band, but they were auditioning a new drummer, and somebody of very high fame came in, and they played a song, and then they sat around. They were chatting for a while, and then they played another song, and then they chatted around. They might have had a beer, possibly something,
Oh, I'm sure.
Said, after the third song, let's took, an hour and a half. He said, well, don't you want to play the album? And the guys in the band said, we know you can play. We want to know if we can hang out with you.
Aww.
And it's so true about, everything from going on the road. You got to hang out with people on the road. You can't be, unless you're so stinking rich, you can just have your own bus and your hotel rooms, and that's fine. But, when you're first coming out, you guys got to get along. I just watched The Oasis, which is a really good documentary, by the way, about those guys. And, it's just about hanging out on the road and being able to hang and take it, and getting back to being delicate. Honestly, as a musician or an author, you have to have a thick skin, and you got to be driven to what you want to do. I really
the belief
in yourself.
The driven comes from the belief in yourself and wanting it.
Yeah, the confidence will come when you sell 1 million copies, or one.
And and that goes to life of every area. If you don't like the people you're doing anything with, it's going to change that mood, and it's gonna eat away at your beliefs and stuff. So I just love everything you mentioned about that, just in really coming together. And how I'm going to ask Eric this question. It's going to be a different answer for everybody, I'm sure. But an album. Say you want to put an album together. Somebody's out there listening, like, oh my gosh, you know what? I've written a song or half of the song. How many songs do you need on an album? Like to call it an album?
Well, There's different lengths of albums. There's EPs. I think they're 4 songs to 6 songs or EPs. And a full album would be 10, 12 songs. Sometimes, I mean, back in the Shania days, I think they did 14 or 15.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even 16. So.
Well, how many songs do you need for a set then? If you're gonna say, okay, I've got an album, I want to sell it. How many do you need for a set to play it?
To play it out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to finish about the album first if we could.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, there's different trains of thought for an album. Some people will write 100 songs to get 10.
Oh, right.
Or, if you're a really good writer, maybe you can write 10. But you know what? A lot of times you're going to have to write a whole lot of songs. And the best thing to do is trying to bounce them off some people. But once again, if you're asked 10 people, you're going to get 10 opinions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So try to ask the 10 people that you respect who will give you an honest answer. But then another honest way, okay, now you've talked to the people in the industry. Now go play it before you record it in front of people. Your friends or whatever it is, go to a club or have it at your house or whatever it is, play it and see the response. And really, not the response from them coming up, because a friend will always come up and go, you know what, that was great. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Look around the room while you're playing it. If somebody suddenly, they're all going to their phone, you're probably not catching their attention.
Right.
So that's a big thing. And once they're gone to the phone, getting them back's a hard thing. So try to, and this is the same thing with writing a book and that kind of thing too, I would say.
Yeah.
But more, I guess, musicians, that kind of thing. As far as the set, sets are different in bars, or wherever you're going to play. You can play 4 minutes. Probably 4 song sets. You can play 10 or 20. It all depends.
Right. I guess that's the whole thing. If there's musicians out there and they're thinking, I just want to share the emotion I went through, and that's why I written the song. But also, you want other people to have an experience. And you really want them to feel.
It's a journey.
Oh.
It should be a journey from start to finish of your set. Some sort of journey if you can. Especially if you're doing an album kind of thing, and try to pull people in and hold them there.
No. And then they also, it's a whole room. It's just like a vibe, everything. Just I think that's why I love Christmas carols. I'm positive that's why I'm in love with Christmas carols so much. It's because everybody knows them. It represents a time that you're all happy, and that's, yeah. So, well, I know we have our last minute as we're wrapping up here, Eric. And any final words on invitations for other artists to come along? Or?
Well, we'd like to have it. Once again, we've had Mark Kelso. Now we have Tobin Spring. Of course, we've had me so many times.
Yay!
But it'd be nice to have other artists. And we'll be bringing some people, because we are reaching out to different artists, managers, and that kind of thing, to have different people on the show. So just stay tuned, folks. And once again, if you like it, get a hold of either Lisa or myself on Facebook, at Lisa Berry or Eric Lambier, and you could private message us if you're interested in coming on the show. Don't be scared. It's nothing big. All we need is a bio and a song, and we'll talk to you.
And come be in the chair.
Come be in the chair.
Not the electrical chair. This is the happy chair, the wish chair.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, everybody. We love sharing this time with you, and we look forward to it in the new year, 2019.
And Merry Christmas. I know it's a bit early, but
happy holidays.
Happy holidays, there. Sorry.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you in the new year. Bye.
Take care. Be good to each other.